Jody from North Dakota. Please like and subscribe, and you'll be able to fulfill all your New Year's resolutions. Ever since I can remember, Dad made me and my younger brother Josh compete for everything.
This teddy's mine. I grabbed it first. So what? I saw it first.
Don't fight, kids. The one of you who burps the loudest gets it.
Josh's burp was way louder than mine, and the teddy went to him. So annoying. On our way back home, Josh and I fought over the window seat. And again, Dad had a weird solution.
Let's see who can stick their head out of the window and spit the farthest.
Josh won again, but I accidentally spilled some orange juice on the window seat, so his butt ended up all wet and sticky. Josh usually won these crazy competitions, and he and Dad were a team. But Mom adored me, and we spent hours baking together. And unlike Dad, she didn't make us compete for stuff. The purple cars for Josh and the red ones for you, Jody.
Why buy 2 cars? They could have shared one. When will you understand that money doesn't grow on trees?
Dad left the office looking upset, but Mom turned to us with a huge smile. I got you guys 2 packs of crayons too, but don't tell Dad, okay?
You're the best, Mom.
But Josh broke all his crayons in minutes, then grabbed mine and flushed them down the toilet. He really was a top-grade jerk. Other than that, my life was good. But then one day, everything came crashing down. Mom had ordered pizza for Josh and me, and we were fighting over the last slice when Dad came back from work early.
You ordered pizza again? Why can't you cook, lazy woman? I'm not some millionaire.
They had a huge fight that day, and suddenly, Mom was packing her bags to leave. I cried and tried to stop her, but she said she'd come and see us soon and just left. Then, Dad gave me the last slice of pizza, and I immediately stopped crying and stuck my tongue out at Josh. Don't judge me for not being sadder, guys. I was only 7 then. A few weeks later, our parents got divorced, and since Mom wasn't financially stable, we stayed with Dad. Mom only visited us on weekends and special occasions. Years passed, and Josh and I finally reached high school. One day, we came back from school to find Mom getting out of a flashy car. Jody, Josh, come quickly. I'm taking you to my new home for the weekend. Her new home was a freaking palace. It turned out that Mom's fiancé Steve was a real estate mogul, and this was one of his houses. Later after lunch, Mom said she had something important to discuss. I haven't been able to offer you a home before, but...
Fincredible, Fintense, Sensational, Shakey's Original Thin Crust Pizza.
But thanks to Steve's support, I can now. I'd love for you guys to come live here with me. What do you think? We were both taken aback, but then Josh said he wouldn't leave Dad and walked out of the room. Mom looked heartbroken. What about you, Jody? To be honest, I'd missed being close to Mom, and it wouldn't be too bad getting away from Josh and not fighting for everything. I think I'd like to stay with you. But what about Dad? I'll talk to him, don't worry. And you can still see him whenever you want. Oh, this is just such wonderful news. After the weekend, Josh went back to Dad and I moved in with Mom. She let me have the biggest bedroom. I love it here, Mom. And I love you. I've been waiting to hear that for so long. In the coming days, Mom got me anything I wanted. New clothes, new shoes, new handbags, new bedroom furniture. I even had 3 maids waiting on me hand and foot. One day, I decided to bake a cake for Mom, but I just couldn't figure out the fancy oven settings. Before I knew it, there was a small blast. Just then, a girl my age came running in. Are you trying to burn the kitchen down? I'm sorry, I was just trying to bake a cake. Well, it looks more like a volcano now. No wonder it caused so much destruction. She looked at me, and then we both burst out laughing. The girl introduced herself as Darcy, our butler's daughter. We got to talking, and I found out that Darcy loved baking too. We exchanged a few recipes and decided to try them soon. The next day, Mom got me enrolled into a fancy private school, but it looked more like a 5-star hotel. And the students looked like they'd walked off a modeling ramp. Feeling kind of nervous, I was trying to find my classroom when a group of the most gorgeous girls suddenly blocked my way. New admission. We like your Gucci's and Chanel, girl. You can join our pack. And just like that, I became a part of the most popular group in school, the Wildcats. And boy, these cats were wild. They partied like crazy, blew thousands of dollars on useless stuff, and got tattoos in the weirdest places. But for the first time in my life, I was among the popular kids in school, and I was loving it. A few weeks later, I was hanging out with my cool group outside school, and to my shock, they started smoking. One of them pushed me to try it too, and I didn't want to look uncool, so I did. But I started coughing like crazy. Jody, what are you doing? OMG, Jody, who's this peasant talking to you? What are you doing here, Darcy? I study at the school 2 blocks down. I was just walking home. Ew, are you talking about that gross public school? That confirms you're poor. Jody, you're a wildcat. You can't be talking to people like her. Yeah. Darcy, please go away. I'll talk to you later if I have time. Darcy gave me a disgusted look and left. I felt terrible, but I had a reputation to maintain now. When I got back home, I found Steve and Mom waiting for me, and I knew there was trouble.
So, you're smoking now? Is that why I'm paying your sky-high school fees?
Jody, I'm so disappointed in you. What? I didn't. There must be some mistake.
Don't you dare lie to me. You were smoking, and the butler's daughter saw you.
Steve was always so calm, and seeing him like that was kinda scary. He shouted at Darcy to come in.
Tell me what you told us earlier, girl. Did you see Jody smoking or not?
Darcy looked at me, then turned nervously to him. Sir, I think I made a mistake because that girl was wearing a different dress. I'm so sorry for the confusion. Steve sent her away angrily, and soon after I followed her. What were you thinking, being a snitch? I was trying to save you from falling into bad habits, but I wasn't expecting Mr. Steve to react so badly, so I changed my statement. You should be thanking me. Well, no thank you. Just mind your own business. Yeah, I'll do that now. You're just a rich brat. I don't know why I thought you were different. I felt so mad at her, but I forgot about the fight soon because the following weeks, I had a crazy schedule. I went to school, attended salsa and French classes Mom enrolled me in, and then went out partying with my friends. I was so busy with my new life that I almost completely forgot about Dad and Josh, too. Then one day, I got a call from Josh.
Can you come home this evening? I want to plan a surprise party for Dad.
I promised Josh I'd be there, and that I'd also bake a special cake for Dad. But when I came back from school that day, Mom was already waiting for me. Jody, there's an important event tonight, and Steve says I need to look my best. So I was thinking we'll go shopping first, and then maybe we'll both get makeovers. That sounds cool. By the time we came back home from the mall, I was so exhausted that I took a short nap. And when I woke up, it was already so late. When I got to Dad's place, Josh was done with all the preparations. I am so sorry.
No problem. At least you turned up.
No need to be so snarky. I was just tired.
Yeah, I know how exhausting shopping can be. I saw you at the mall with Mom. You've changed, Jody.
No, I haven't.
Really? Then where's Dad's birthday cake?
That's when I realized I'd completely forgotten about it.
Seems like life with us wasn't good enough for you. That's why it's so easy for Mom to buy your love with all this fancy stuff.
That's not what she's doing. And maybe I like it that I don't always have to share things with you. And Mom and Steve never scold me for buying something I want. They aren't stingy like Dad. Just then, I realized that Dad had walked in. Oh, Dad, happy birthday.
I know that I'm careful with money, Jody, but I've always worked hard and tried to give you a good life.
I know that. I didn't mean it.
Yes, you did. You just didn't mean for me to hear it.
Dad said he was tired and just wanted to go to bed. And Josh was so mad at me for ruining everything. Back at home, I tried falling asleep but kept feeling terrible. I didn't mean to hurt Dad. And was it true that I'd changed, like Josh had said? A few days later, Mom and Steve were out at some party, so I invited some friends over. We were having a great time, dancing, till one of them started a food fight, and the next thing I knew, they were all going crazy. One, she pointed at Darcy, who just walked in with drinks and got hit by some food. Just then, one girl jumped on the couch, knocking over a large crystal vase and smashed it to bits on the floor. That's it! Enough! You guys don't get to disrespect anyone, and you don't get to act like spoiled brats in someone's house. Leave, all of you! You can't talk to us like that. We made you one of the most popular girls in school, and we can end that instantly by kicking you out of the Wildcats. Sounds amazing! That's exactly what I want. Now get out! The girls stormed off while Darcy and I stared at the mess. I'll take care of this. You don't need to help. You'll never get this done alone before Mr. Steve's back, so let's not waste time. We worked our butts off for the next 2 hours and finally sat down exhausted. Hey, I'm sorry my friends acted like jerks. I don't care about them, but I hadn't expected you to be like that, or even have such friends. I know. I don't even know who I am these days. I've been trying so hard to fit in with these people I don't even like. And also, I forgot my dad's birthday and hurt his feelings. And my brother, he thinks Mom's trying to buy my love by giving me all these gifts. Do you feel the same? Maybe. She hasn't spent much time with me ever since I moved in here, but she does get me whatever I want. Darcy suggested I tell Mom how I felt. So later that night, I walked up to Mom's room to talk when I heard her and Steve arguing. Steve, I changed myself completely for your sake. I tried my best to be a good partner, but I can't tolerate you cheating on me.
Do you have another option? Do you want me to throw you and your daughter out of this house?
No. There's nothing I wouldn't put up with for my daughter's happiness. I finally have her love after all these years. I wouldn't be able to bear it if she leaves me.
Then stay quiet and don't interfere in my matters.
I slid behind a statue as Steve marched out of the door. When I peeked into Mom's room, I found her crying. And just then, reality hit me. Mom wasn't trying to buy my love. She was just showering me with hers. Mom? Oh, Jody! I think I have something in my eye. I heard you and Steve talking, Mom. And I want you to know that I love you, whether you have money or not. But on my own, I don't even have enough to give you the kind of life you were living with your dad. I was just a waitress, and I met Steve. I don't care, Mom. It's you I want to be with, not your house or the stuff you can give me. You know what? I've always wanted to start a small baking business. Maybe we should do that together. The next day, Mom and I moved out of Steve's mansion with our hands empty, but our hearts full. We rented a tiny apartment and started our baking business from home. And I took the time to reconnect with Dad and Josh and even kept in touch with Darcy. In a few months, our business took off with massive help from Josh.
Cake number 17 delivered.
Thanks, bro. Aren't you the best?
I know. That's why I want these headphones.
What? No! Mom got those for me. Some things never change, do they?